high-impact innovators. India-Russia webinar opportunities for startup is a program under the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the field of innovation signed between Department of Science and Technology, the Ministry of Science and Technology of the Republic of India, and the Ministry of Economic Development of the Russian Federation. I'd like to really acknowledge the leadership of Dr. Anita Gupta, who had spared from the Government of India side in rebuilding the pathway in the India and Russia. And we from the FICCI, from the private sector, we are committed to work with the government, see how best we can transfer the high technology and also innovations across the sector, that is for societal good or for impact. We should create a bridge under the program. I'd like to really thank Dr. Shishir and the Honorable Ambassador, Indian Embassy in Moscow, in providing all full support and anchoring this first workshop in the program. I'd like to thank the government of Russia for supporting and Kasi, who has been our partner in this endeavor. We from FICCI side, we are the leaders in the corporates of India, represent us. We are committed to work with academia and to work with startups to ensure how best we can fulfill beyond the objective of the program. I'd like to thank Russia, especially in building India in the early stage when we got independent in 1947. And our noble partner, Russia, have helped India in this decades of our relationship in building partnership on technology, especially the high-tech technology and defense cooperation. I'd like to signify the impact of the tech transfer of the steel technology in 1960s from Russia to India, established the great steel market under the Ministry of Steel, run by a private sector called Steel Authority of India Limited. We'd like to also thank the government of Russia in helping our Ministry of Defense in establishing the strength by transferring defense technologies for respective organizations in India. This opportunity which Dr. Anita Gupta and the government of Russia has brought to us is a unique opportunity in serving the startups for impact in high technology. Once again, on behalf of the President and the entire FICCI family of 3,000 corporates, the leading corporates of India, we are committed to work with Department of Science and Technology under the leadership of Dr. Anita Gupta and Government of Russia and Indian Embassy in doing so. Before I end, I'd like to really acknowledge the effort of Dr. Shishir. I'd like to acknowledge the noble work done by ITI and the team. Over to you. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Yeah, so may I technology counselor to take forward this session?
Thank you, Mr. Saxena, for the introductory words. We have the first speaker in this forum, Dr. Anita Gupta, who is the head of National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, Government of India. She is a doctorate in engineering from IIT Delhi and an administrator by profession, over 20 years of experience in managing Government of India-led programs on innovation and entrepreneurship. She is currently heading the most important innovation and entrepreneurship department in the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. She has played a pioneering role in steering the horizontal and vertical growth of innovation and entrepreneurship and startups in the country. She has been a lead catalyst in establishing over 100 technology business incubators at institutions of academic excellence in India, including IITs, IIMs, National Institute of Technology, and many leading private universities. She also has been instrumental. She is also instrumental in carving out a new umbrella initiative called NITI in India, which is National Initiative for Developing and Harnessing Innovations under the Honorable Prime Minister National Initiative of Startup India. So may I now request you, ma'am, to kindly say a few introductory words.
Thank you, Dr. Shishir, and thank you, the team FICCI led by Mr. Nirankar. Greetings from DST, Department of Science and Technology, and I welcome all the key stakeholders across both the nations, India and Russia, my fellow colleagues from the department, Dr. Vashne, Dr. Naveen, and a whole chunk of our incubator community. I think all top 4 or 5 are really remarkable in their arena. They represents the different zones of India, be it like east, west, south, and north is represented by DST, because I think there's no one from the north, as I could see the flow of presentations in the today's program. So as we speak, December is the last month of 2020, and all will agree the year has been truly phenomenal and indelible in most, you can say, multiple ways, as we call. And the way the year has unfolded, and it was the most challenging times, most trying times, but we had huge amount of learnings. At the same time, we could see the power of innovation, the power of collaboration, which was so very required to really rapidly accelerate some of the solutions which we direly needed. I'm talking about while world is really looking for a solution for the pandemic to deal with in terms of vaccines. We have ray of hope with many few vaccine candidates given the emergency authorization. So there is a clear hope. But across the board, one could really appreciate the way our startups really had shown the agility, which is a part of their DNA. But given the unprecedented challenges and the uncertainty which is looming large, I think since 9 to 10 months, we have seen the immense power of ingenuity, problem solving, creating thinking coming to the fore. And on the top of it, while technology was at the driving seat, it was the sheer power of collaboration with all the key stakeholders, like be it mentors, be it kind of domain experts, be the industry champions, be the government. See, all working in close association and tandem with each other, and that's how the product development, the solutions which were very required, would see the light of the day in few months' time. Given we are dealing with this space which is highly, you can say, regulatory driven. We are dealing with the patients where the life is at so critically important and crucial, and the kind of solutions which could navigate through in this times, and this has been huge learning for us. So this has given us enough confidence in the entire startup and the incubation and the mentors community to say, and that's how 2021 really looks brighter for us. It's a clear ray for hope, because given the learnings, given the silver linings, given the how the challenges could be rapidly translated into newer set of opportunities, how we could really showcase the world that when in March we were in many areas, be it call it the indigenous PPs, sophisticated respiratory aids or ventilators, where we could really show that we could bring in quality products at the right time, and a couple of the products in an accelerated manner. And now they are in the market, and a couple of them are being exported. So from the situation of being zero to surplus, this is really heartening to note. And as we see the clear role of technology is to really not only simplify but also amplify and magnify the human lives. And with we have a new call of being self-reliant in the country in multiple domains, multiple ways. So that has become high on our charter and agenda going forward, and where like all startups and our potent tool of nurturing startups, that is incubators, have a multitude of role, and they have to really evolve now and reform to suit the changing dynamic needs with the new normals being created, and also leverage the true power of technology. While our startups have really delivered in terms of domestically or regionally, it is the international market access which requires a new paradigms, new realms as we go forward. While within our board, we are currently on with the 8 different sort of a bilateral cross-border collaboration to facilitate and enable global market access with the respective countries, like hitting upon the countries like Africa, or be it the North America part, or be it the South America like Brazil. And we have been to Russia. I led a delegation way back a couple of years back with a cohort of 10 startups which were identified, and we had a collaboration with the GVA in Moscow, and it was a good accelerator program run for 2 weeks. So that has given some sort of insights. How does the Russian ecosystem works? But going forward, I think we have got enough opportunities now, good avenues which will be worked upon during the course of deliberations to enable how we could either promote soft landing of startups or co-creation, co-development of variety of products which could complement the needs and requirements of both the countries, and how will really engage and connect the various dots to come out with a viable solutions which will strengthen the innovation capabilities of both the countries. And that is the clear intent with which we both are incubators from both these sides, mentors from both these sides, public officials from both the sides. I know MOA has been signed in this direction. Now we really need to put everything in action, and hopefully when we meet next time, there will be something to really cheer about and be happy about, to share that we could really fulfill the statement that collaboration really works, and collaboration really delivers the right set of intent. If all are on the same page, everything is devised in a way which serves the needs of both the countries. So let us welcome and see how the course of deliberations unfold. I'm happy that both the countries have agreed to really collaborate on this important agenda of innovation, entrepreneurship, and the leaders and the champions of both the countries will really come out with very fruitful kind of you can say outcomes which we all will be proud of. So thank you all. Thank you all the organizers, the entire team of FICCI, my colleagues, and all those, the incubator community of India and Russia side, all the public officials. So thank you for giving this opportunity. My best wishes to all. And let us embark on the year 2021 with a new hope, new aspirations, new resolve. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for a very, very enlightening address, special address from you, highlighting the importance of integration of innovative activities between countries. Our next speaker for the day is Mr. Yogesh Anle. He is the member of FICCI's National Committee on Science and Technology and Innovation, and he's been a part of the information technology industry in India and has co-founded several globally recognized software companies, including Nucleus Software, Polaris. Currently, he serves on the board of School of Inspired Leadership, SOIL, which is a very significant institute in India. SOIL is recognized as a pioneer in leadership education and has won laurels for its unique approach to leadership development. SOIL was founded on 5 pillars of mindfulness, compassion, ethics, diversity, and sustainability. He is also the co-chair of the FICCI Startup Committee. Mr. Yogesh has been associated with India Innovation Growth Program (IIGP) and is deeply interested in building innovation-led social enterprises. The India Innovation Growth Program is a joint initiative of the Department of Science and Technology and Lockheed Martin Corporation, US, Indo-US Science Technology Forum, and FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce. Well, Mr. Yogesh would be highlighting the strengths of Indian industry in this collaborative partnership. May I now request Mr. Yogesh to take forward.
Thank you, Dr. Shishir, for your kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this session, this time and space here. Happy to join this discussion today on behalf of FICCI, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Dr. Shishir has already given an introduction, but I wish to highlight a few experiences that I have had since my college days and when we started our own enterprise right after graduating from IIT Delhi in 1979-80. So when I look back, during our times, we didn't have these, sexy words like entrepreneur or a startup. You either take up a job after your graduation, or if you're very adventurous, you will start on your own. And few of us, we decided to start on our own. And I'm so proud of my friends who worked with me and worked harder than me, in fact, to have set up a small software development entity way back in 1980. 83 to be more precise, as a formal setup. I would call myself, a product of being at the right time, at the right place, and with the right opportunity. We got some very good opportunities. And we worked in the banking sector for 10 years non-stop for just one single client in India. And we developed almost every kind of banking application that we could think of. Today, the Central Bank of India, the Reserve Bank of India, runs a mega real-time gross settlement system which handles all the transactions, the fund flow transactions, the GL of the country. I'm proud to say that the system has been given by one of the companies that I have co-founded at that time. It's called Intellect Design today. It's successor of Polaris Software. The other company, Nucleus Software, is also recognized globally for its consumer banking products. And both these companies continuously rank amongst the top 5 in the banking and financial industry services product. Keeping that background aside, I'm very passionate about innovation-led social enterprises also. Let me just give you a bit of feel about what I'm talking about. When we were in college, we were all inspired to do something good for the society. And as part of the college groups, we used to go to villages around Delhi for a lot of social activities. And we would do some kind of sometimes some immunization drives, some cleanliness drives, some libraries, basically thinking in our own little way what we could contribute to them. When we go out, we look at the whole situation in a very different way. We say we are not here to do some service or charity to you, but we are here to be with you to understand your problems and how can we solve them together. And as a result, entrepreneurship springs up almost in every situation. Just to give you an example, some time ago in a remote village district of the state of Gujarat called Aravali district, we conducted entrepreneurship development program for the local youth. Students of high school, high secondary school, to some college students, some local youth, they joined us in the program. And I'm so happy, it really chokes me when we find that a girl in 11th standard stood up and said, I want to take up entrepreneurship. We were amazed. And 2 months down the line, what we see, when she starts sharing the progress with us, she says she has started a small dairy at her home with 2 cows. She now knows how to do all the accounting and can tell us every month what he is spending on maintenance of cow, taking care of the cattle, selling the milk, how much money she's making. And she says, that's the foundation of entrepreneurship. If we are able to put this foundation across in the country and across the world, I'm sure a lot of people will then become employment giver rather than job seekers. Keeping this aside, let me just take you to the great strides India has taken in the field of entrepreneurship. And there are many government initiatives, government support that's coming. Department of Science and Technology has really led this revolution. The business incubators set up with the help and financial support of Department of Science and Technology all across the country. And many of our fellow, incubation center managers, directors are here with us in this call. And I would like to name out a couple of them whom I have had the pleasure of meeting personally. Dr. Mrityunjay Suar from KIIT, Bhubaneswar. Dr. Poini Bhatt from SINE, Bombay. Dr. Premnath from Venture Center, Pune. And so many of them. 25 years ago, when these TBIUs started, I have been associated with one of them in IIT Delhi from the beginning. And we literally had the professors literally went around to the classes telling people about entrepreneurship. And amongst the first enterprises that came up in IIT Delhi was Critical Solutions, which started working in video analytics based systems. And you'll be surprised, they had 13 co-founders, more than, I think, 5 faculty members and 8 students got together to set up the first enterprise in IIT Delhi. And I'm very proud to be associated with them because we invested in them subsequently. Now, that enterprise has grown big, but it has also taught us many lessons. We'll be happy to note that from that little beginning in IIT Delhi, today, the incubation centers from India, these supported by DST, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, have already created more than 10 or 12 unicorns. And at least almost 30 or 40 startups in India are almost waiting to be there in the unicorn list. And now it's not just the unicorns are coming from the main cities, they're also coming from the next level cities in India. In terms of digital economy, the country has taken many steps, many in financial technology terms. I would just like to highlight a few numbers. The debit card set up in India by the banks together, which created a National Payment Corporation of India, they set up a RuPay credit card. This year, they have done so far till October, in about 7 months, 340 million transactions across POS and 400 million transactions across e-commerce. So together they have done more than almost 750 million transactions, adding up to something like almost a trillion rupees, 980 billion rupees. This is in comparison to what was done last year. It's almost, we are going to double it. Now, despite all this COVID, or because of COVID, the digital economy, the digital financial transactions in India have picked up. This system has spawned opportunities for startups. Almost every organization which is providing these digital payment interfaces has been started as a small financial technologies entrepreneur, innovative entrepreneur in the country, and they've all grown big. And many of them are, of course, in the unicorn list. Going forward, India has embarked on a very, very ambitious program of digital, building up the digital infrastructure in the country. We have a very large penetration of mobile phones and mobile internet. As we know, the number of mobile phones increases, the load increases. Sometimes in remote situations, remote locations, there are access problems, there are transmission problems. So India has embarked on a program of creating public Wi-Fi hotspots. We had set a target of setting up 5 million such hotspots by year 2020. We are very much behind. And what's being done now is that options, the facilities, the policy has been put in place, the facilities are being created, that every nook and corner of the country, even the smallest vendor, where everybody sort of goes for the daily needs, will have an opportunity to set up a public Wi-Fi hotspot. There'll be no charges, registration charges, or any such thing. And the broadband operators have been given an option to become public data office aggregators. That means these PDO aggregators. So they will aggregate, they will provide the setup, and me, you, everybody can go use this setup there. Due to COVID, suddenly the educational institutions had to stop, and the students had to shift to the digital infrastructure for the online education. And they would probably be the biggest beneficiary, because in every nook and corner of the country, students can just go walk over to the neighborhood convenience store or a grocery store or a milk store, as we call it, and will be able to access Wi-Fi in the neighborhood of that location. Coming to the cutting edge technologies, again, a lot of experience work we see has happened. I have been associated with India Innovation Program almost since it was started, and at that time, almost today 12 or 13 years ago, when it was started, we started inviting applications for innovative technologies which could be commercialized. And we used to get almost 1,000 applications every year, out of which the FICCI team, with the help of University of Texas at Austin, I2 Tech, and all other partners, the USA, the Lockheed Martin, the Department of Science and Technology, Indo-US Science and Technology Forum, etc., they all used to get together to evaluate or to look at, review all these applications, and would select about 30, 40 of those innovative applications which are at the cusp of taking off, being commercialized. And I'm so happy to share with you that many of those enterprises that were picked up at that time, at least few of them, have really gone out and made an impact, and one of them is likely to be a big unicorn in telecom sector. What we see happening in India is wide use of artificial intelligence in so many startups. The digital technology. Now, AI in based systems are being developed in healthcare, are being developed in agri-tech, are being developed in space tech applications. So, again, what we find is the entrepreneurs look for problems, and wherever they find an interesting problem, they build solution. When I was reviewing some of the data for this chat today with all of you, I was intrigued to find space tech startups, because I thought that space tech is such a high-tech industry, would require a lot of bandwidth for people to set up something. And I found there is a space tech organization in India which is designing and preparing to build mobile rocket launchers, launch small satellites. And the problem this group thought that they want to solve is, when they looked around, these are space technology students and researchers, they found that many organizations globally have built their small satellites and they're waiting for it to be launched. And sometimes it could take a wait time of years. And the amount of money and effort they have to spend in just maintaining that satellite system for it to be launch ready is perhaps sometimes more than what they spent on developing it. And they could do something to reduce this time from a year to few weeks. And that started working on. And I'm so happy that they are on track. They have been getting funding, and they hope to have a mobile satellite launcher by 2022. In the tech, there are organizations, there are startups which are designing and developing satellite and satellite components. I know of a startup in my own alma mater, IIT Delhi, which has developed a very highly sensitive camera system. There are startups which are working on rocket, as I shared with you. There are startups working on space tech applications. How to analyze the data that we receive from the satellite, be it video or other signals, how do we analyze them and make them useful for everybody? We see a lot of tech startups in the country, and of many kinds, starting from startups which are working on connecting farmers to the end consumers, farm to fork, straight. The vegetables, the cereals are produced in the farm and directly delivered to consumer doorstep. Many of them which have started off, and these enterprises not only have made it big in commercial sense, they are also serving a big social cause. One problem with the land holding of an average Indian farmer, how can we help him increase his income? If you can make it double, that'd be wonderful. And these farm to fork enterprises which are taking these produce from farmers to the end consumer are doing a phenomenal in that area. Then agri-tech, it's becoming digital. AI-based interventions where they can the farmer can use just an image of his crop to figure out what is the disease that probably is causing the crop to slow down its growth, and can straight away send it across and can get feedback on what could be the remedial measures they can do. There are agri-tech startups which can help farmers manage the entire crop cycle of many crops. And I'm very happy to share in this August gathering that when we offer these technologies to, let's say, the other nations in Africa, in Southeast Asia, and application there too. And these, the technologies that are developed here, they are finding relevance in those countries. FICCI runs a program where it tries to match these startups with the required technologies or required solutions those countries are looking for. And we have such collaboration programs going on with Rwanda, with Ethiopia, and many other places. We have, there are water management systems in agri-tech. In EdTech, it is stated that the EdTech market in India is likely to be $10 billion by 2025. And there are so many EdTech companies that have taken off. Even the government of India has launched a very ambitious program to bring the lectures in the engineering colleges from the best professors in the country. So subjects can be taught by the best professors. Even the remotest engineering college, which sometimes has a problem of attracting good faculty because of its remoteness, will not stay behind the rest of the country in terms of the education that it imparts. In healthcare, there are plenty of applications that have been developed in the country. We see artificial intelligence being used in healthcare, in diagnostics. There are organizations which are working on using AI in detecting breast cancer at a very early stage. There are organizations which can provide aid in the triage room. When a head scan is done or a chest X-ray is done, be able to help the doctor pinpoint the issue or the problem. One of the doctors, when you were talking to him about the application of these AI systems in healthcare, the opinion was that if I, as a doctor, have 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes to spend on a patient and really properly clinically examine him, get the right diagnostic data quickly, I can do a job. But when workload is such that I can spend barely 2 minutes on the patient when he comes into the emergency and have to react, some of the AI systems, they really help me make the right diagnosis. We are seeing entrepreneurs in India taking healthcare across the country. Given the size and the population of the country, the number of medical experts, the doctors, the specialist doctors, unfortunately, are limited, and especially in far-flung locations. The health is still needed there. So what are these entrepreneurs doing to solve this problem? They are developing point-of-care diagnostics. We have a very big system across the country of local healthcare workers. These are our foot soldiers in remote rural locations. These are the young women, young ladies. They go out, they meet the pregnant mothers, they meet young kids, observe them, they collect their data, do their immunization. And they can also carry small devices to do a spot hemoglobin check or a spot cardiac check. Now, this was not available earlier. And therefore, if someone required an intervention, either it would be too late for us to give that intervention or provide that intervention, or we may send people unnecessarily up to cities for checkup. Now, these ASHA workers, these local foot soldiers of our health network, can actually detect in pregnant mothers. They cardiac abnormalities and can take a decision on the spot whether this is fine, we can live with this, it's not so critical, or it's progressing, the progress is under control, or this requires an intervention, therefore can be shifted to a higher, better care center. We have startups in the genome sequencing, genetic sequencing mechanism. We have, I'm sure Dr. Mrityunjay Suar will cover it in more detail about the kind of biotechnology-based startups that are taking shape even in the eastern part of the country, where he heads the incubation center, which is also recognized as a nodal incubation center in the entire part of the country. If I'm taking too much of my time, but I really welcome all of you. And on behalf of FICCI, I would like to offer that whatever need you may have to reach out to entrepreneurs, to connect with the entrepreneurs, to connect with the entrepreneurial ecosystem in India, we will be happy to do our job. We will be happy to connect you. We'll be happy to support you, help you in whatever means that it may be required. With this, I would like to say thank you to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present my views to you today. Thank you very much for listening to me so patiently. Thank you. And if you have any questions, we'll have a question answer session at some point of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yogesh. Although you exceeded your time, but in innovation and when you're talking about strengths of India and your experience, I didn't feel like interrupting you. It was very interesting. Our next speaker for the day is Ms. Olga Levichenko. She is the director of International Department of FASI. FASI stands for Foundation for Small Innovative Enterprises, a very, very unique and very important organization in Russia. She's been the director of International Department for over 12 years. And she has worked with over 40 countries in international cooperation from this department. Prior to that, she has worked with World Bank and various European programs such as TACIS. So may I now request Ms. Olga to kindly take forward the proceedings.
Yes, hello everybody. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, screen is visible. You may just do full screen.
Okay. To be present to this Innovators. First of all, just a few words about FASI. For those who don't know what FASI is, FASI is an innovation agency for Russia, which is providing information and financial support to small innovative enterprises, for startups, and for tech. I was asked to sum up the program involved in with PST, which is the India-Russia Joint Technology Commercialization Program, which was implemented there. It's a joint program between FASI, DST, the Department of Science, and this program is based on a memorandum of understanding that was signed in 2017 between. Finally, this 2020, we were able to implement this program. A few words about what the program is about. Basically, this is a program for high-tech companies from both India and Russia, with the idea to implement joint projects where Indian partner does part R&D and the Russian company does its own share of R&D. And then there's a joint project or which is further commercialized in Indian, Russian markets or elsewhere. As I said, the call was open for starting small companies where universities and organizations were welcome to participate as subcontractors. From FASI it was 15 million rubles, and from DSC rupees and ruble are say one. Were set to 8 months. Basically, in automation, we selected certain topics which were preferable, but in the terms of to give preference to any themes of the projects. The budget distributions will depend on the funding group of GST and FASI. The requirement was that the applications, the applicant have to submit its application, and Russian applicants its application to FASI. The first, as I said, the first pilot in FASI, according to the rules of funding. If we have project evaluation on both sides, the call will open in July, initially 30th of September. During the FICI and FASI facilitated provided assistance to Russian companies who have Russian partners from the Indian side and vice versa. We had was very highly publicized, and we had a lot of Russian companies in the Indian companies. Preliminary results, of which I was asked, we have 4 pages in Russian. Actually, we're currently in the process of the applications which were to file GST. I heard a very rough medical resolution for the applications which were filed in. You can see here we have 10 applications in the sector of biomedicine, 5 applications in medicine and medical equipment, from information communication technologies, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, 2 applications in materials and composites, 2 applications in environment, 1 applications, and 6 applications for robotics and drones. Here there's sort of a timetable timeline on the further process of evaluation and decision making of those projects that will be selected. Here was the table from the initial project plan. Here we moved 30th of September to 10th of November. The overall time is going to move by about 6 weeks. I assume that the results of the joint call will be announced somewhere in February or March 2022. The next call, which we're first going to announce, I think we have to see what projects will be under this call, announce the results, so that will determine the date for the next call. That is all. I would very much like to thank Dr. Sher for the assistance that he's been giving during the time of the time of understanding and facilitating the organization of a joint call. This was very helpful. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for your attention. And if you have any questions, my contacts and you can call me.
Thank you, Olga. It was a very interesting presentation. For the benefit of all the Indian viewers and all the Indian entrepreneurs, FASI is a very, very interesting organization and supports a lot of innovative activities. You must go to the FASI website and see the details. And you must also go to the India-Russia Innovate website created by FICCI, which talks about this program, which Ms. Olga just elaborated. In the next series of talks, we have Mr. Ajay Mutreja, member of FICCI National Committee on Startups. He has 38 years of professional experience of cross-border technology and strategic collaborations, global expansion for Indian companies. Besides Indian entry to strategy consulting and implementation for 1,500 foreign companies. A very, very distinguished person and speaker. During the last 2 years, he has been supporting 75 plus Indian government bodies and foreign organizations, incubators, accelerators, innovation centers, and many startups, including social impact enterprises, as strategic advisor, mentor, jury, investment expert, board member, member of think tank, besides virtual operations partner and mentor. So he's wearing too many hats. During his global professional experience, he has gained hands-on experience in establishing businesses in many sectors, including B2B products and services and B2C products and services, besides advising private equity funds and government and semi-government organizations of various countries. So may I now request Mr. Mutreja to kindly say a few words about how a single window facilitation can happen for Russian enterprises in India and what are the other opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fisher. Thanks a lot for giving this opportunity. Let me also give a little background more than what you have talked. In my early days when I came out of IIT Kanpur, I started working on the first project with USSR to help set up turnkey lines in USSR for fast-moving consumer good industry and pharmaceutical lines. So I was involved in evaluating various Indian equipment suppliers and look at working with various government bodies to set up pharmaceutical lines for capsule making, capsule filling, bottling lines, even for Colgate toothpaste and many others. Subsequently, I've had opportunity to interact with many Russian delegations coming to India in various fields, including in my short tenure with L&T, we were involved in looking at some partnerships. Coming specifically to my experience in the last 5 years, closely working with FICCI National Startup Committee, a lot of what Mr. Yogesh Andle has talked about, I've been closely working with him, with Mr. Nirankar Saxena and the entire FICCI Science, Technology and Innovation team. What I have learned in my one of the international experience, I've spent more than 2 years in Kingdom of Bhutan, working as an industry advisor, reporting to the king of the country and to the Minister of Industry, Trade, Commerce. This was way back in 1985 to 87. One of the most important things that I learned was that unless there is a single window clearance, the foreign investment or any industry to be set up will keep running from pillars to post. And that is why we started a very similar thing, which was started much later in India in FIPB. So I was involved in establishing single window clearance for not just foreign direct investment in Kingdom of Bhutan, but also for all industries to be set up in the Department of Industry, Mines. So even in 1991, when India was going through the first economic liberalization program, I was part of the team to look at what is FIPB. And I realized that unless there is a central government single window clearance, and unless there is a clarity of what state government single window clearances mean, foreign direct investments will not be effective. And that's why it took a very long time for FDI to succeed in India. So if I look at the world of startups and high impact innovation, the key is to look at now building sustainable partnerships, whether it is technology transfer, joint venture, technology alliances, marketing alliances. And we need to work closely with a number of stakeholders, whether these are rapid innovation centers, hub and spoke model for incubation centers, industrial clusters, whether it is working with areas in the biotechnology, or look at all the big challenges of our country today. India and many of the countries in the southern hemisphere have similar problems. There are problems of food security, there are problems of environment, there are problems of obviously waste management, and there is problem of affordable health available to all of them. And we have seen this during the last 9 months of the COVID. So it's the right time for us to look at how can both Russia and India look at partnerships for ease of market entry for Indian innovations and technologies to Russia, and for co-creation and co-development of those innovations where India can contribute both on the innovation as well as on the market. So whether it is in the area of artificial intelligence, machine learning, virtual reality, augmented reality, industrial 4.0, robotics, and also new energy. Let's not forget, we have to look at how can we work together, not just to support the country of Russia and India, but how can India support all the other less developed countries of the world with these innovation partnerships. India has been liberalizing its foreign direct investment, and we are a very investor-friendly country. And especially during the last 1 year, it has become much more easy. So there is no regulatory approval required for foreign direct investment in majority of the sectors, including the area of information, communication, and technology. So why don't we, there are some restrictions for the approval process in defense and military or in cyber security, but every other sector is now easy, and startups working in this area. And I have had the pleasure of interacting through Mr. Nirankar Saxena with more than 500 plus startups, and with Dr. Anita Gupta and the team in DST, maybe another 1,000 startups in the last few years. And all of those startups have the ability to work together on co-creation. If we continue to work in silos, either in one country or in one sub-geography, we will have difficulty to get make a high impact that is necessary by these high impact innovations, whether on the social impact or whether in the area of competing with the best of the startups and innovations coming from United States. So when I look at what can we do, so there are, if I look at the single window clearance, Government of India has already encouraged all startups can be established with red carpet treatment being given to them, all foreign direct investment in the areas of high technology innovations. And if I look at specifically in the area of biomedical devices, biotechnology, whether it is diagnostic equipment, medical equipment, pharmaceutical, there is no better time than today to work together and look at, let's just look at one example. In the recent months, I have been looking at the best of the insulin producers in the world. So I was talking to some of the people in Turkey, and they said we are buying the most expensive human R insulin from the two big vendors, Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. And they are saying, why can't India supply us the biogeneric Humulin R insulin? And we are happy to look at $100 million business in the next 6 years or next 5 years. So there is an opportunity to look at working together on more frugal innovations, more cost-effective innovation. And that is why we should look at possibilities of setting up single window facilitation and market entry in India, similar to what was done by STPI. STPI is Software Technology Park of India. Many years ago, they established a single window clearance where any company who wants to establish any business, foreign company, Indian company, either in the area of software or hardware, they were given one single point of approval, and even they did not have to go from pillar to post. So Department of Science, Technology, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Finance all came together to give them single point approval. Similarly, I think time has come for us as two nations to join hands together to look at high impact innovations, both for social innovation and other applications, even in the area of robotics, in the area of drone technology, environment, managing all the vagaries of climate change, earthquakes, and disaster management. The time has come for us to work together and look at a single window clearance. There are incentives which are being given by Government of India. We also need to bring some of the progressive states of our country who are willing to give either free land or at a subsidized approvals. So I know the state of Uttar Pradesh has been welcoming and making red carpet, especially after what happened with the China. And there are many other foreign direct investments that are looking at in India. So why not Russia? So the time is there. And I think FICCI is the best platform for us to coordinate and help all the Russian startups and high impact innovation companies to first look at partnering for commercialization in India, where the market is the biggest opportunity, but also to co-develop for looking at not just India as a market, but additional billion population in the Southern Hemisphere where we can work together. So we are very happy, and on behalf of FICCI, we would like to welcome all Russian innovators and startup companies to look at an opportunity, and we'll be happy to facilitate a single window clearance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mitreja. All the Russian company, we have more than 150 entrepreneurs who have joined this webinar, and I request all the Russian entrepreneurs to note this talk from Mr. Mitreja. I would request Mr. Mitreja to kindly share his email address on the chat so that everyone can note it.
Thank you. I'll just, yeah, sure, I'll share it. Thanks.
Our next speaker for the day is Daria. Daria is the head of International Startup Relations, Skolkovo Foundation, and she's been the head from 2017 onwards. She's the founder of the Skolkovo Soft Landing Program, a very, very successful program. And she's developed more than 7 cohorts, 130 foreign startups, and from around 35 countries. She manages the complete soft landing program from A to Z, from administrative issues, selection and communication process to international negotiations, and representing Skolkovo abroad. She works with a huge network of international partners, accelerators, and innovation ecosystem representatives. And she works with many companies and integrates them with Russian companies. She is now ready for her next talk. May I now request Daria to kindly give her presentation.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the great introduction. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for joining this great event. And I would like to underline that cooperation between India and Russia is highly essential and fruitful for both countries. And today I would like to tell about the Skolkovo Soft Landing program that had been launched 2 years ago. So let me share my screen with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. So first of all, I would like to say a few words about Russia. So the Russian market is a strategic market for many foreign companies right now. And the federal government has been constantly working on improving the business environment in Russia. Russia has a high level of scientific and technological development. It has attractive tax system. It's a multinational state with over than 170 ethnic groups. We have a lot of special economic zones for developing businesses. And it's also important to mention that Moscow is the second largest city in Europe. So in Moscow, we have the Skolkovo Innovation Center, and probably many of them have already heard about it. So the Skolkovo Innovation Center is a large innovation hub that is 400 hectares. And currently we have more than 2,500 different startups that are united by four main areas of research. This is IT, energy efficient technology, advanced industrial technologies, and biomedical technologies. So in Skolkovo, we have almost everything, starting from the office and apartments, finishing with gymnasium, school, and all the necessary conditions for startups to work and have their normal life. As I said, we have four main areas of research. They are very broad, and any of the startups that are related to these specific spheres can join the Skolkovo soft landing program. A few words about the program. We invite companies from all over the world, we don't have any specific limits, to join the program and come to Skolkovo Innovation Center for 1 week to understand how the Russian business works and what conditions do we offer in Skolkovo. Currently, due to the pandemic situation, we had to move the program to the online format, but as soon as the borders are open, we would be happy to invite all the companies to visit Skolkovo Innovation Center offline. So, what does the program offer? We offer a free working place in the co-working area, so when the companies come to Russia, they have a special place to work and operate, so they don't have to stop their business processes. We offer lectures, seminars, trainings, where we explain different details about the Russian business, about Russian tax system, and other important details. We provide in-depth understanding of the Russian market. We invite companies to join special events, and we do networking. We try to integrate foreign companies with the companies that we have in our pool. We provide different meetings with partners, investors, and development institutions. We invite business angels and different experts from the field to the pitch session where startups can tell about their projects. Each startup will have a project manager, and he will provide the detailed analysis of the project, and the company, together with the project manager, will be able to set goals and to set their plans how to expand to the Russian market. Also, we try to do everything for our startups to integrate them to our community and invite them to join our biggest events. So we have two of our biggest events, our Startup Village and Open Innovations Forum. Some of the programs that we have, they're connected to these events. Usually we have 3 cohorts a year. We have program in March, and actually the next soft landing program is going to be in March. Currently, we can't say whether it will be online or offline, but we hope that we will be able to make it offline. We also have it in summer, and one program we have in October, and it is connected to the Open Innovations Forum. So companies can come for 1 week to live in the Technopark, to work there, to talk with our companies, with our experts, and also to take part in the Open Innovations Forum. What is next? What are the conditions? As I said, the program is for 1 week. And if the company has a necessity to prolong their time in Russia, we can provide a co-working area for free, and the company may stay for 1 month in Skolkovo Innovation Center. We invite usually no more than 3 participants from each project. The companies may apply online on our website that you can see on the screen, or the companies can contact me and I will send them the application form directly. As soon as the company finishes their participation in the Skolkovo soft landing program, they can make a decision whether they want to expand to the Russian market or they're not ready yet. If the company wants to expand to the Russian market, we invite companies to apply for the Skolkovo resident status. So this is the special status that gives certain benefits to the company. And if the company wants to expand to the Russian market, I would say that Skolkovo Innovation Center and Skolkovo resident status will give all the benefits, the most attractive benefits that the company may need from the start. So let's have a look at the benefits. So the most important part is tax benefits. So it's zero profit tax, is exemption from VAT, is zero property tax, reimbursement of custom payment, and also insurance premiums for all the companies who are Skolkovo residents are less. Usually they are 36%, but for Skolkovo residents, they're only 14%. So tax benefits is very important, especially for a new company that has just decided to expand to the Russian market. Another important point that many Skolkovo residents use is grant financing. So basically grants are free money that company can get in order to develop their products. We have three types of grants. There are micro grants, mini grants, and big grants. Depending on your needs and requests, we can provide different types of grants. I would say that micro grants, they're up to $20,000. They're the most popular because they are easy to get, and the company use them pretty often. Also, of course, the companies, when they get the Skolkovo resident status, they get business development opportunities. Each company get the personal project manager and its support, so they can talk to the project manager, discuss all the issues that they have, and ask for help if they need it. The companies get access to partners, investors, and business angels we have in our pool. And of course, the companies participate in major events of Skolkovo. And also we have certain fee-based services that company may use if they need and if they want. These are different acceleration programs. They can use our rental opportunities, co-working area, office space, laboratories, common use centers, prototyping centers, apartments, and other facilities. They get certain business services. If you need accounting or legal services, HR or GR services, you can get them at Skolkovo Innovation Center. And of course, we have a huge IP protection center where companies can solve all their problems that are related with IP protection. So far, we have already had 7 different cohorts and 140 different companies from 35 different countries have participated in the Skolkovo soft landing program. We want to develop our program, and we are eager to invite new companies to join our innovative ecosystem and to enjoy their expansion to the Russian market. So we encourage you to innovate with meaning in Skolkovo Innovation Center. If you have any questions, I'm always here to answer them. Please don't hesitate to contact me. My contacts are on the screen, and also I have sent my LinkedIn details in the group chat. So thank you very much for your attention. I would like to say that we are very happy to participate in this event, and we invite Indian companies to join us and to cooperate together. Thank you.
Thank you, Daria. Thank you very much. In the next series of proceedings for this webinar, we have the Head of International Project Service, Russian Venture Company, Mr. Stanislav Shamakov. So Mr. RVC is a state fund of funds, a development institution in the Russian venture capital market. The mission of the company is to create a mature venture capital market through the consolidation and development of resources, competencies, and initiatives on the part of investors, investment portfolio managers, and entrepreneurs to create and promote innovative products and technologies in priority technology areas, making Russia a leader in the global technology market. Mr. Shamko, is a PhD in political science of the Diplomatic Academy of Russian Foreign Affairs Ministry. He's worked extensively in the field of innovation in various leading companies, including Rus Nano Group. I now request Mr. Shamakov to give his presentation, please.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Namaste, dear Indian friends. First of all, I would like to thank my colleagues from FICI and the Indian Embassy, and personally Dr. Shishir, for preparing this webinar. The representative audience of today's webinar highlights the interest in the development of Russian-Indian cooperation in technology areas. And as previous speakers have said, they've mentioned several important issues about the current time and about our COVID situation that leads us to the growth of possibilities for high-tech startups in the current digitally transforming world. Dr. Yogesh mentioned a very important point I wanted to support. Entrepreneurs are looking for problems, as he said, to provide their solutions. We can clearly see this today when the growth of different innovational fields of innovational companies is following to the current situation of pandemic. And here in RVC, we truly believe it is important to create systematic opportunities for growth of startups and provide them with financial support. I hope that at such events we will be able to learn more about ways to develop cooperation between the startup communities of our countries. And we hope that a joint platform or a single window clearance, as was mentioned by Dr. AJ, will open new windows for startups and growing companies for cooperation and technology transfer. And today, me and my colleagues from RVC will share with you some points and projects that are currently we are working on in RVC. So I'll take several minutes to briefly present you RVC. Let me share my screen.
Do you want me to share the screen?
Do you see me? Because
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you. I can share your presentation if you want.
I would love to. I don't see the screen actually right now. I would love probably to give a word to first of all to Irina Borodina. She's the head of the National Technology Initiative Centers of Competence. It's one of the key projects of RVC in the field of supporting R&D projects and in the most advanced innovational fields. I think Irina will start our presentation and I will fix my problems with the connection and we'll go after her. Irina, are you hearing us? Can you take a stage?
Stanislav, thank you very much, but unfortunately I also have some problems with sharing the file. Sorry.
No problem. I'm sharing the presentation made by
okay,
Mr. Shamako.
Can
It's come.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see your presentation.
Very much, dear colleagues. I would like to tell you very shortly about our program of support of NTI competence centers. NTI means National Technological Initiative. This is a many big frame of the to define a group of technologies we are going to support first of all. Our program of support of NTI competence centers was started in 2017. So our program is granted by Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Russian Federation, and also it is a part of national projects science of the Russian Federation. RVC in this program has functions of monitoring, administrative support, and also we have some activities for the development of our centers. What does it mean, NTI center? NTI center is usually a structural unit based on a university or research organization. The main goals of this unit are development new high-tech products, transfer the results of this R&D and engineering to industrial partners, and become the centers for education and for technical consulting in new technical fields. For the last 2 years, we have 14 centers, and for the last 2 years, in our 14 centers, more than 14,000 specialists were trained. About 200 projects were started, new R&D projects. More than 400 licenses were sold, and about 500 partners from industry and education. This is different companies, universities are in consortium of centers. That means that they have partnership. On current slide, do you see the next slide? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. On current slide, we can see the list of breakthrough technologies which are developed by our NTI centers. Now we have working centers launched in 2018 and 14 breakthrough technologies. I grouped them. The first group is IT technologies, big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cognitive technologies, and distributed ledger. Second group is quantum technology, then technologies connected with industry, sensing, robotics, and so on. New energy technologies, smart grid, new and portable energy sources. Then VR, AR, neurotechnology, and biological biotech. Centers will be started in next year. They areas are photonics and new materials. My next words will be devoted to show you the examples how our centers are working and to show you the examples of a few projects, because we have very lot of information, and I can't speak about all the centers now. On each slide, you can see the contact person who is in charge of communication. And if you have some interest to know more about this center or this technology, you can contact them. The IT direction. So our entire center for big data, they are working with research and analysis, and the most demanded area in this center is predictive analytics, which can be implemented in different industries. Here you can see 3 project examples, and now they are working for the predictive maintenance, technology optimization, and monitoring of environmental pollution. They have already Russian metals and mining, oil and gas, energy industries, but they are open for collaboration in other areas. Next NTI center was made for investigations in the field of AI, science and technology. They have several directions in their center, but mainly they are focused on NLP, natural language processing, and decision support systems. The example of their project, which is shown here, is decision support system for railway traffic modeling. It can also be adapted for logistics, and this system makes optimal train schedules and help to increase the efficiency and reduce costs of railway transportation and logistics. Center which is working in IT, this is our Center for Cognitive Research. They are also working with AI and big data, but they are focusing on creation of cloud services to big amount of industrial data, and to also they are making decision support systems. So there are also 3 examples of and they are focusing to work with industry to help industry make decisions for any different questions, any different tasks. Next block of technologies are quantum technologies. Our center in Moscow State University mostly focuses on hardware for quantum computing, for quantum communication, and sensors. The most famous project of the center is VIPNet quantum security system. Like a telephone and absolutely secure communication system based on quantum key distribution protocol. This system can be used at close distances up to 50 kilometers. And now they are starting pre-sales. The second example of the project is quantum technology. Our center is focusing on quantum communication, and they develops both hardware and software for different tasks inside the production. Priority direction of the center is also development of quantum key distribution devices and technologies. And these technologies are combined with the other breakthrough technologies like fiber optic network, cybersecurity solutions, which makes very fast and very secure solutions for the modern communications, and they are offering the solutions for banks, critical infrastructure, and transport for reputation. They have here about 5-6 ready products. In Skolkovo, we have an entire center for wireless and Internet of Things technologies. They are this communication. The center is quite big, and they have more than 20 projects, and they can work with many range of industries, from the food industry to different type of metals and miners, transport, logistics, smart city, forest, so on. The examples of the most demanded product is given here. This is the software for 4G, 5G base station. Now they are testing software with operator MPS. This production and ready for the implementation on the markets. That the solution doesn't depend on the type of your hardware and can be adapted to any type of hardware. The next block of our centers and technology are energy technologies. Let me introduce sources. Different directions, but the technologies. For example, they can make for different types of vehicles, and these systems are working on hydrogen. So nowadays they have working prototypes of electric car, fuel cell inside. They have big powered vehicle platform for track. They have drones and small airplanes, unmanned airplanes. Except power generation system, they are also working with hydrogen infrastructure. So they have an example of hydrogen filling station already working and some solutions for the generation of H2 of hydrogen and the storage for hydrogen. The center from the block of energetics is our center in Moscow Energetic Institute, and they are working with smart grids, with intelligent power systems and intelligent grids. And one of the product which center would like to represent here is intelligent microgrid based on personal powered units. This is the solution for remote areas. I suppose that in Russia it can be used for in the north place, but in India I suppose you also have some places to implement it. So the center has great experience in relay protection, in the automation synthesis of different architectures for the smart grids and for the digital substations. Also, they are working for they're making solutions for the Internet of Energy. And my last example for today, this is our Center for VR and AR techniques and nanotechnology. This center is situated on the Far East. They have two main directions. First direction is VR products for education, presented here themselves and inviting the collaborators to make and VR applications for the different school lessons in physics, chemistry, history, English, mathematics, and so on. This is the virtual practicum. And this year, due to epidemic situation, it is very popular. And second, the direction is VR in medicine and systems of systems for the patients after neurological diseases like insult and infarct and so on. This is the last. All our centers partners in Russia, but unfortunately we don't have many partners abroad. We have a very, very small amount of foreign partners, but actually we have some great solutions, great technical solutions, and we would like to show it abroad and show it in India. Here you can see my contact. Also on every slide there was a contact of person from each center. Please feel free to contact us if you would like to receive more information about centers, about our sessions. And thank you very much for the possibility to speak here. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you, Irina. I would love to take back the stage. That was a great presentation. As you see, NTE Centers of Competences, it's a wide range of an advanced R&D expertise and R&D project that are mostly ready for industrial commercialization. And actually, I would love to stress your attention to what was said by Dr. Ajay. There is a huge field of possibilities to create joint projects, not only for domestic markets, but also for developing countries, as Mr. Ajay told. I would love now to try one more time to share my screen and say a few words about RVC. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Just a few words about what RVC is. RVC is a state fund of fund. In our portfolio, we have 29 venture capital funds nowadays. Their total size is around $750 million. And at the portfolio of more than 160 technology startups. As a fund of funds, we provide financial leverage and expertise in structuring and managing funds focused on supporting technological projects. Our funds mostly focused on Russian-born projects. Nevertheless, we have a mandate for creation of international venture funds, and nowadays several of them are in the advanced phase. And I would like to take this opportunity also to express RVC's interest in partnering with Indian investors and LPs who are ready to invest in joint funds with Russia. And I one more time want to say thank you to Dr. Shishir for his assistance in this direction. Also, as it was also mentioned, RVC is a development institute that implements initiatives and projects for the development of a community of investors, entrepreneurs, scientists, and talented youth. As you see, Irina already presented you our R&D fields in the frame of the most advanced scientific and engineering centers that are open to create and to build R&D partnerships not only in Russia but also abroad. But for Russian companies, we're doing a specific work to support fast-growing high-tech companies, especially highlighting the segment with an export potential on a global market. To find and identify such companies, RVC annually updates Tech Up rating with more than 500 innovative scale-ups in the rating nowadays. We have a special RVC center for tech scale-ups development that specializes in targeted scouting of companies using its own automated IT system. So we can work with any corporate or state body to support any kind of program searching for Russian technologies and Russian innovative players of the field that have some specific solutions for any kind of advanced technological fields. And we are open for new projects with Indian partners at this point in creating links between advanced companies from India with the Russian colleagues in a variety of the technological fields. There's also one more project named Generation S. It's a corporate acceleration platform, and I would love to give the place for Ani Aganisyan. She's head of international cooperation of Generation S program, and she will be glad to share with you the possibilities of cooperation in the frame of this project. Ani, please take your.
Yeah. Thank you, Stanislav. And first of all, thanks for letting me join today. It's a great opportunity to share some insights and information with our Indian colleagues. So let me share my screen. Please let me know if you see it.
We do.
Yeah. I'm going to present you Generation Startup Corporate Accelerator, and as mentioned, Stanislav, it's a corporate innovation development platform and also the largest startup accelerator in Russia and CIS countries. We were launched by RVC in 2013, and since that time, we have more than 60 corporate partners. We have more than 100 startups. We call them our alumni startups, and our alumni startups has more than 100 transactions and integrations with their customers after the acceleration programs. Accelerator was as the world's top 5 public business accelerators, according to UBI Global last year, and we are active in international cooperation with innovation ecosystem partners, corporates, and startups in order to strengthen our competencies in this area. Talking about our corporate innovation development tools, here we provide the different instruments for corporations wanting to launch their innovation activities. So actually, it starts with innovation audit and strategies and making different kind of strategic sessions, also project scouting in Russia and abroad, and making tailor-made acceleration programs. So here we don't talk about any like classic acceleration tracks, but very tailor-made programs aimed to find and to match relevant technological projects with the needs of our business partners. We are developing a number of educational programs aimed to strengthen competencies and skills of corporates and of entrepreneurs in order to manage and to lead innovation. So, regarding startups, we are working actively with startups, with Russian ones and with international, in order to, first of all, provide them an opportunity to find their relevant business customer and to launch pilot projects based on these corporations and on their facilities. Besides this, startups participated in our acceleration program. They have an opportunity to receive an expert review of their project and also mentorship during the program. We also try to provide them an access to partner infrastructure for rapid prototyping, and actually it's also based on the need of the startups. So if they need some facilities and some help to get the access to the infrastructure partners, we are providing this. Besides, as mentioned, we are doing very tailor-made acceleration programs. So here I would like to mention that we are working mature startups with ready products, as our main goal is to launch pilots and to discuss the opportunity to scale the solution within the corporate. So for this, we need at least a prototype or MVP and and the ready product to do this. And our startups, alumni startups, get the access to our perks and different benefits after passing the acceleration programs. So we are working with them, trying to promote their projects in Russian and international markets. We are working with major corporates in fintech, for example, banks like Открытие, VTB, it's the largest Russian banks. And here we talk about fintech solutions. We have a number of projects in transportation, and currently this year was quite rich for transportation industry acceleration programs. So we worked with State Transport Leasing Company, with Russian Railways, and for these projects we were actively looking for international startups as well, for foreign solutions. So if I'm not mistaken, we had also Indian startups applied for this program. Besides, we are quite strong in Industry 4.0. We have some international programs with such corporates as Michelin, Airbus, Unilever. So here we talk about scouting competencies in Russian markets and abroad. And also we have quite good competencies in agrotech and mining and metal. And to make a conclusion, we are very open for working and cooperating with international partners. And I'm very happy that we started our cooperation project with Indian Embassy as well. So what we can do together and what we are open to do is to launch some joint acceleration and piloting programs with foreign startups, with Indian startups, and in Russian markets for Russian corporates, and also for Russian startups in India. We are open to do different now, because of pandemic, online workshops or seminars on corporate innovations, but actually we are doing such projects in live format. If we talk about normal times, we are open to invite you to join us as experts regarding different stages of our acceleration program. Also, we are practicing exchange of best practices and developing every kind of innovation and cooperation projects you want to do on the Russian market. So here is my contacts. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and also contact me on LinkedIn. I will leave my contacts here on the chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. I want to draw the attention of Indian stakeholders to the two very successful programs which Russian side talked about. One was the last presentation by Annie, and she did not give many of the examples, but I request Annie to forward some of the presentations where the acceleration has been successful for many companies in a span of just 6 months. So, and it is not during the pandemic times, it was much earlier in 2018 and 19. She shared some experiences where how they led to very successful programs of acceleration in a very short span of 6 months. And of course, the National Technology Initiative, which Irina talked about, is a very interesting program where these centers are tasked with transferring results of fundamental science to specific market products by organizing consortium approach with industrial partners. So this is another very important example which Mr. Mutreja was also talking about, and I request the Indian stakeholders to note these two examples, and we can furnish more details for synergizing the effort. So in the next series of talk, we have Mr. Vadim Kokhtov. He's the vice president of and the founder of co-founder of Petron Services and Technologies, and he's a member of business club under Russian trade representative in India, and he himself is an engineer, physicist, technological entrepreneur. He's a nuclear physicist from Leningrad Polytechnical University, very renowned university in Russia, and he's founded this company Petron in 1995. And may I now request Mr. Vadim to share his experiences on ICT, field level ICT experiences of working in India and Russia together.
Okay, let me, can you see that screen?
Yes, it's coming.
Excellent.
You might have to speak a little louder.
Okay, we'll try to do that. Let me introduce SafeNet activity, which we are a member of, and SafeNet is a member of NTI, which we have very detailed report about before. SafeNet is something about safe and protected computers, safe communication channels between the nodes, cybersecurity, safety of cyber physical systems, and you can find that information at NTI website in all the details. SafeNet roadmap. That's different items which is a part of SafeNet roadmap. Is a digital asset safe management, biometrics, quantum communications, safe 5G and 6G, safe platform for Internet of Things, medical wearable devices for health monitoring and different kind of self connection of that, safe management of personal data, and connected transportation. This is important to tell that this SafeNet roadmap is not finalized and approved. So it's just ongoing. Nevertheless, the SafeNet Engineering Center in St. Petersburg Technopark is still already active. The subject of development for St. Petersburg Technopark SafeNet Center is artificial intelligence applications development. There is an open Internet of Things lab. It's open for a number of members. There is a quantum communication demo set up. There is a smart quarter demo. It's not a smart city, just a smart quarter, but still a number of technologies are demonstrated. There is a cybercrime prevention and cybercrime investigation service. It's actually available as service, and even Russian police is using that type of service in the everyday work. Of course, face and voice recognition, video surveillance, it's available, and we can demonstrate that. Blockchain as well as quantum blockchain. That's the subject of SafeNet Engineering Center, even that SafeNet is not launched properly at the moment. It's not approved. Let me be a little bit critical in terms of Indo-Russian communication, because I am working in India already 5 years, and I have some successful results and a lot of not successful results. So let me deliver some my critical issues about that. Russian investigators and Russian IT people, Russian high-tech people are looking for market application. This is important message. They are not just doing science for science. Sometimes we are talking with our Indian partners, and Indian partners deliver a message to Russians like to Americans. And they told that India is low cost. It's true for US, not 100% true for Russia. I would just to mention that. We have technologies and we have some markets. At the same time, India has a bigger market than Russia and probably need some technologies. It's a lot of development done in India, but still probably some technologies will be interesting to have on board. So our task is to match technologies with the market available. I would tell you clear that generally talking Russians are a weak salesperson. So I would like to invite Indian partners to be a member of that kind of technology team. And then joint R&D, transfer of technology, and indigenization will happen after the sales will be clear. This is my very short message for you. A little bit critical, but this is my experience. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Vadim, for a very short and good presentation. I want to ask you one question. You made one statement that India may be low cost for US, not for Russia. Can you explain why?
We know very well that India is a low-cost country, generally talking compared with the United States. And we know that every Indian living in India, traveling to the United States, will be able to receive salary 3 times more than in India, very quickly in the United States. So most people know that. So I'm talking with Russian people who would like to establish a company in India. We provide service. Let us take American level of salary and make 10-15% discount. If you propose that kind of price, then it will be much more expensive than in India and even more expensive than in Russia. So India, it's not anymore low-cost country for Russia.
So you propose joint development and other aspects which you presented in your presentation. Okay, thank you very much.
This is my positive experience. How it works. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So, in fact, we have Mr. Valentin Makarov, who's the president of Rusoft, and he's also joined us. So probably we'll have some words from him somewhere later in the panel discussion session. Now we have the next speaker, which is Dr. V. Premnath. He is an alumni of Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, and he's also studied at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, and he brings with him considerable experience in technology development and commercialization with these startups. And he's worked closely with Cambridge, UK, and other programs and programs with large corporates on research and consulting projects, and is a project leader. So may I now request Dr. Premnath to kindly switch on his video and take the presentation forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I think I have only about 2 or 3 minutes, so I'm not trying to use any slides, but if you want me to, I have a couple of slides. Do you want me to use a couple of slides?
Yeah, you can take your time. It's a free-flowing conversation, and where we want the participants to benefit rather than just mark your presence. So kindly take your time.
Okay. I'm from the Venture Center in Pune. Pune is on the west coast of India. I have just sent you a little bit of small information on the chat box, a couple of links as well. We are basically an inventive enterprises and science business incubator. We worked with about 500 entrepreneurs in the last decade or so. At any given time, we are hosting about 70 odd resident startups, and we focus on very often technologies which have quite a lot of knowledge intensity. And recently, also we have announced several first in India technologies from our center. And one other thing which we are doing, which is relatively procedurally has been difficult to do, has been spin out companies from publicly funded research institutions. So we are an independent not-for-profit and supported by the Department of Science and Technology, NSTDB, as well as BIRAC and other organizations. We are an award-winning incubator, but we are a little bit specialized, and I hope some of you would have those shared interests as well. Here are some recent success stories, and I'm sorry, did I? Yeah, you can see here a few. I just thought I'll give you a glimpse of some companies so that you get a sense of what kind of work we do. A couple of companies here in the waste management space, for example, the first citywide demonstration of organic waste conversion to bio-CNG, which is happening in Pune, which is quite an important activity for India. We also have the first, for example, circulating tumor cell diagnostic solution. Defibrillators, this one is a patent protected hand crank defibrillator. And then there are different areas like spinal implants, biosurfactant based products, drones, softwares for drones, process modeling, simulation, bioreactors, and of course, during COVID, the first indigenous RT-PCR kit approved in the country by my lab. Yeah. So these are some examples. We've tried to bring together an ecosystem that supports some of these startups, like other incubators, which you also might be having. We of course focus on advice and mentoring, and we have a pretty large mentoring network in Pune. And funding and investment is another area that we look at. We run 3 small seed funds. Of course, infrastructure and scientific and prototyping facilities, both basic workhorse facilities and also some specialized facilities, some of which are listed here. A few in the medtech and the pharma spaces are some of our strength areas, which we have built some unique facilities. And we, of course, bring in quite a lot of support for IP, tech commercialization, regulatory aspects, and so on in-house. Besides many other things that startups, incubators do in all these places. So that's a very brief introduction that I'll give you of Venture Center. I hope, of course, very happy to engage with any of the interested incubators or technology managers or innovation managers from Russia. And we will be happy to explore any synergies that you might find. I saw that there were some domains which mentioned, which are definitely of great interest. One of them that struck my, which I noted carefully, was especially in the mobility space, including fuel cells and hydrogen energy. We'll also be interested in several other digital applications in health, agriculture, and so on and so forth that some of you mentioned as well. So I'll close here, and here are my a few. I think yeah. So my email address and my LinkedIn address is also provided here. Happy to engage with any of you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Premnath. Especially, what are your thoughts about integrating some effort with the National Technology Initiative (NTI) and some of the initiatives that you have taken? I think there's a lot of synergy.
Yeah, in fact, some of the technologies which were mentioned were particularly of interest, and we would like to explore that further. I think Irina mentioned a few specific areas which I think we can explore synergies. And besides that, of course, there were other domains which, if we go deeper into it, we'll definitely find some in the IoT/AI, ML/health kind of spaces, which would be of interest to us as well.
So I'll request Irina to send the presentations to you and Mr. Mukreja, and engage more on those aspects.
Can I ask one question, Dr. Sita?
Sure, thank you.
This is to Mr. Premnath. I think what you talked about is excellent. We have to identify specific areas of co-creation, of trying to work together on projects. See, whatever commercializations you've done, whether MyLab for RT-PCR, whether it is some drone technologies, that's a great success story. How can we build on these pilot, maybe 10 success stories and make it 100 in co-collaboration models with NTI and some of the incubating partners is what we should be discussing. This program should be looking at partnering for building 100 to 500 startups which get into commercial both in India and Russia in the next 1 year.
Sure. I think we'll be happy to do that. I think the first task is to be informed about each other's capabilities. And I think that is a big gap right now. I would love to learn more. And I can see even in this discussion so far that there are a few areas which we can really build upon. So maybe that this is a starting point, and happy to take it ahead as well. Yeah?
And sometimes we try and always try to look at developing the from the scratch. See, it is not necessary that we should be doing everything together. There are so many strengths in Russia, and I know a lot of them. I've been working with Russian and USSR technologies from 1984. So I'm aware of some of those strengths of that country. And while we know our country's strength, but they don't have the market. So we need to work together. We can give them access to not just 1.3 billion Indian consumers, but also another billion people in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, I agree with you. We'll also have to find, of course, interesting financing models to make those happen, and also find ways to network Indian entrepreneurs and Russian entrepreneurs outside of this meeting, find ways by which they meet each other. I mean, that collision is more important sometimes. Perhaps collisions between incubator managers can facilitate that, but we need to think about those. How do entrepreneurs meet each other? Yeah.
So Mr.
Sure.
Shamakov,
Thank you. Thanks for your comments.
Mr. Shamakov had one suggestion, and he mentioned that we will have a perpetual platform for connecting or matchmaking the technology firms in various domains, and that can be prompted by experts like you for virtual and perpetual matchmaking.
Sure. Yeah. We'll be happy to look at that as well. Yeah. We do look for mentors, technical experts, and so on. We've never had an opportunity to explore Russia as a source. So it's a good idea to look at that.
So great. Now, in line with the thought process, the next presentation aligned is from Technopark Caliber, and Christina is going to make this presentation. Technopark Caliber is a non-state technopark in Russia with many activities devoted to startups and wide range of international projects. So Christina is a leading manager of Technopark, and may I request Christina to kindly take forward proceedings.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
That's great. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting Caliber to be part of this webinar, which is quite important for the development of cooperation between both countries, between India and Russia. But first of all, I'd like to begin with telling you about our technology park. Academ-Technopark is an area where innovative companies have offices and laboratories and do work involving science and technology. At the moment, there are 36 technoparks in Moscow and 200 parks in Russia. Our company has got a long history, and in 1932, it was the first large enterprise specializing in manufacturing high-accuracy measuring tools. In 2009, the company became a development project. In 2015, Caliber obtained the status of the Technopark, and in 2018, the company became the investment priority project of Moscow. Our tenants are provided with various services and special amenities. The Technopark has a business center with a conference hall and co-working. One more important facility of the company is Children's Technopark, which was opened in 2017. 3D modeling, IT, and motion capture technology are taught there. But this is not all our tenants can get. They also have access to state programs and supportive measures like subsidies. We have got more than 150 high-tech companies, and some of them create production chains and participate in manufacturing and delivering services for the public sector and foreign partners. Also, our tenants provide internships for students dealing with engineering and technology, and they even sign specific labor contracts, which means that they will get a job after graduation. Every year, Caliber Technopark holds various events for tenants, such as international conferences, industry meetings, and workshops. We also have a special event format called Business Breakfast, which is held exclusively for tenants and on the topics they request. Our Technopark has got a lot of partners and even partners abroad, and it means that our tenants can also communicate with state agencies, with universities, international companies, and development institutions. The Technopark is interested in having partners all over the world and helping its tenants establish cooperation with them. There is also one important thing, which is a so-called business lift. It means that a company comes to co-working and it starts developing there. Then it develops and grows to a Technopark tenant. We've got a few examples, but I would like to tell you about one of them. We've got a company that in 2016 rented 2 workspaces in co-working. In a year, it became the only representative in Russia of the Chinese manufacturer of laser equipment. The brand is Raymark. In March 2017, this company became the resident of our Technopark. And recently, the company decided to export air recirculators because since the pandemic began, the company started to produce air recirculators that have a wide range of effects on various microorganisms, including bacteria and viruses. And now they think that such products may be in high demand in India. So now the company is searching for clients in India. Next year, Caliber Technopark plans to launch a huge new building with total area of 37,000 square meters. And we'll also have a co-working there, which is 1,000 square meters. The majority of tenants will be dealing with the IT sector. In case India starts any project selection, we'll be glad to provide the winners with workspaces and co-working for 1 or 2 months for free. Having a workplace in co-working, they will be able to get to know Technopark tenants and understand how the Technopark operates. We can also promote Indian projects among our tenants and inform Russian Technoparks about various projects. I'll be glad to answer all of your questions. If you have any, don't hesitate to contact me via email. And thank you for your attention. And thank you again for inviting Caliber to this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. In fact, I request all the speakers during this session of panel discussion to hold on, and this is this panel discussion, and towards the end we will exchange your thoughts with the other speakers. The next speaker in this series is Dr. Poini Bhatt. She's the Chief Executive Officer of SINE, IIT Bombay. Dr. Bhatt is a qualified legal and compliance professional who has turned to technology business incubation by chance, helping entrepreneurs for over a decade. She has an experience of 3 decades in industry and academia. She's a founding team member of SINE, IIT Bombay, the technology business incubator, and has been managing SINE since 2004. She has been involved in 140 plus startup incubation. Several of them have done exceedingly well, and some of them have failed also, the resume says, and are active and running, many of them. Majority of the startups supported by SINE have raised external funding. Dr. Bhatt actively contributes to the entrepreneurial ecosystem and is a mentor for startups and innovation ecosystem around India and the world. So may I request Dr. Poini Bhatt to kindly give her remarks.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I have some slides, but I think I can also just talk and what exactly we are doing and who we are, if it is okay. So whatever you prefer. So
you can show the slides. There is no problem.
Okay, let me try. It's here. That's it. No, if it is okay, I can continue with my point. Thanks. So just like Dr.
Yes,
Premnath
please.
mentioned, he's part of he's part of this NCL Pune, which is National Science and Chemical Laboratory. We are also part of one engineering institute in India, which is IIT Bombay, and we are around. We are in for a while, almost 17 years. We are running various incubation program. Uh, uh, Pre-incubation program, incubation program, and accelerator program on our own as well as in collaboration. So just to give you one, brief idea about our activities, like we have start to scale up support. In starting support, we have some grant programs, we have boot camp program, then incubation, we provide support, which is typically for 3 years, and then beyond incubation, we run accelerator programs in corporate partnerships, corporate or international partnerships. And as an incubator or focus, like we are a pretty much broad spectrum incubator. We are not really any sector specific incubator. So we have incubated companies in the area of fintech, clean tech, health tech, also like ITs kind of companies, also space tech. Someone mentioned about space tech, also mobility, transportation. So quite a few companies, like, and quite a varied domains that, have like of the companies that have got supported in this SINE. As long as we are concerned, like so far we have supported about 175 odd companies across various programs. You already mentioned that some of them have done exceedingly well. Several of our companies have also gone international, in international markets, set up offices in US and Europe as well. As an incubator, we provide physical infrastructure support, also soft lending support. We have few like collaboration, international collaboration with Switzerland also. So we also provide soft lending support to their startups coming from Switzerland. So those kind of tie-ups and collaborative programs also we run with certain cross-border partners also. We did, Dr. Gupta mentioned about one particular program that she led in Russia. So we were also one of the implementing partner with the GVA in Russia, Moscow in 2017. So we did that program as well. Yeah. In India also, there are several covered specific defense programs, COVID specific, defense program specific, electronic specific activities and government programs that we are implementing. So some of the, just as since we are talking about like synergy or how they can be basically supported in mutual geography. So some of the things we will be happy to look at in accelerator program. I heard, I think in RVC presentation, there were acceleration program and there could be partnership can be developed out there. We definitely are keen between Indian startups as well as synergy at a startup to startup level. That is one more thing that we will. And third thing that we'll be happy to look at is actually providing soft lending support as well. So happy to answer or interact more in like, in coming times.
Thank you, Dr. Poini. I now request a Russian speaker to kindly take forward the proceedings, and that is Mr. Levan, who is the Director and Chief Innovation Officer of Novosibirsk State University and Novosibirsk State University Park, and he is also the Vice President of Oxy, which is the world's largest producer of graphene nanotubes. So after completion of his academic career, Dr. Levan has gained 30 years of global experience in high-tech venture. Since 1998, he's been working as a corporate development director of a Canadian company called Fargo Management in Consulting, and he has huge experience in establishing firms across Russia. And he's the general director of MicroAge USSR. He's a member of board of directors in many of the companies. And may I now request Dr. Levan to kindly give his remarks.
Thank you for the introduction. Can you hear see the presentation, sir?
Yes, yes, we can see, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, ladies and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
You can make the presentation full scale, please.
Just a moment, yeah. Just a moment. It's okay? I want to introduce you the Technoparks, Novosibirsk Academ-Gorodok Technoparks, called Academ-Park. The Technopark are located in one of the famous Soviet scientific center called Novosibirsk Academ-Gorodok, that 1,000 hectares of the land are located more than 40 scientific institutes of the Russian Academy of the Science. It's approximately 50,000 of the scientists, 2,000 of the PhD degree, the doctors. In the same academic city are located one of the famous Russian university, Novosibirsk State University, that have they're one of the best university in Russia. He is generally in the top 100 position of the worldwide for the physics and the astronomy. Is a leader of the different ranking systems of the QS Times and all the ranking systems a lot. The Technoparks are established 12, 13 years ago, and the first building appears in 2010. We have a strong cooperation with the company, Russian venture company, Rusnano, that already mentioned in these seminars today. We are a regional office from FASI that also are introduced today, and we are territorial partners for the Skolkovo Foundation and the Siberia. In our territorial, our technoparks are located all the infrastructural centers for HealthNet, one of the branch of the national technological initiatives, and the NeuroNet infrastructural centers. Today is 300 residents. Of course, for the India is not a very big, but for Russia, one of the biggest technoparks, with total revenue last year of the residents of that in our technoparks exceed 29 billion rubles. Is approximately 10,000 employees. We have 4 major directions. First of all, of course, is the IT and telecommunication. Other is the biotechnology, biomedicines. Third is the new materials, nanotechnology, of course, instrumental and others. For these 10 years, we built very effective infrastructure for technological support centers. I want to notify only that our engineering centers achieved 4 times for the last 7 years achieved award of the Red Dot for the best design awards, worldwide best design awards. And we built one of the most successful acceleration programs in the Russia called ASTART, that for last years we worked with more than 700 companies. That winners is the more than 152. And today I can say that revenue of this company exceeds, I think so, 5 billion rubles. One of the most effective incubating programs that are also located in our technoparks. We are cooperated with the list of the big Russian and worldwide company. I can notify the AstraZeneca, Bayers. We realized several projects with the Bayer company, ExxonMobil, other. You notified my vice presidents of the company called Oxial. Oxial is very simple: oxygen, carbon, silicon, alumina. It's very simple to pronounce if you remember, if you understand how the transcription. You notify already that Oxial is the worldwide leaders in the single carbon nanotubes manufacturing. Last summer, Oxial notified in the list of the 300 unicorn company with capitalization exceed $1 billion. Today, capitalization of these companies approximately $1.4 billion. Oxial have more than 40 offices in the different countries. I notify one of our offices in India. We have a good partnership with the list of the Indian company generally in the painting and different quantic materials that are general direction for our business in the India. Other company that I also notify is the other examples is the company that start from 3 students group in our business incubators. They produce some different systems for air cleaning, a conditioning system that are for consumers or for big medical centers. They also have a Red Dot Awards for the technical design. Today, revenue of this company exceed also 21 billion rubles. And last but not least is our company called Medical Biological Union. They are generally producers from different type of the immunobiological products. From ELISA diagnostic systems, they are developers of the more than 100 different types of the test systems. In the last spring, they are developed a PCR test for the COVID. Is the first Russian PCR test that are developed in the country. It most useful for the Russia. Is that 3 examples? Is of course only short, small introduction of the 300 residents of our technoparks. We are open for any kind of the cooperation with the Indian competitors. I think so that I know some of the participants of these seminars in my previous life. Well, thank you for introduction. I am ready to answer any question that if somebody have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Levan. We are running behind schedule slightly, but in the interest of all the community which is watching, we have next Dr. Mrityunjay Swar, who is the Chief Executive Officer of KIIT Bhubaneswar. Dr. Swar's group works on semolina tessif. I think he will only pronounce this word. There are 2 technical words. So I request him to kindly take forward the proceedings and give a small introduction about his.
Thank you, Dr. Sisir, and I'm thankful to the FICCI members for inviting me to this panel. So I'm going to give you a brief in 2 minutes. I know the time is not there. So we are in eastern part of India, and the state is called Odisha, and very well, connected by air and all sort of logistic support. And we started our incubation activities, a private university-based incubator. In 2009, we got from Department of Science and Technology, where Dr. Anita Gupta comes from. And today in 2020, we became Center of Excellence. And if you look at the journey, has been quite interesting. And from scratch, we built it up, and you will see in success stories what we have built. So what is, sector-wise, we are sector agnostic, like Dr. Poini mentioned. IT and engineering is most focused, and of course, biotech is very strong, and healthcare, diagnostics, agri, all these sectors. And we are now got Center of Excellence in digital health and precision agriculture. So anybody is looking for any sort of support in this sector, we're most welcome. So just to tell you in 2 slides, so far we have incubated in this part of the country around 250 odd startups, and from all these sectors what I mentioned, and 79 startups moved out, and 100 plus startups they have failed. So close to 40% startups they have failed, and they couldn't take off afterwards. And these startups could evaluated around $30 million. And out of these 29 startups, those who started with us incubation activity from ideation stage, they could raise almost close to $60 million. And there are many women startups. We have mentors programs. So all things everybody is doing. But if you look at this part of the country, we have done some exciting work, and students, innovators come with ideas they could build their enterprise. So if I can tell you that we work with startups, even the foreign startups, we work with them from ideation stage to acceleration stage. And one of the example I'll tell you afterwards, but this is what a slide I'm going to tell you, that we are not now focusing on our state. We are now going to the eastern part of India, northeast part of India, working with Boeing program on the aerospace wise, and also we are now into electronics ministry and working together and building this ecosystem here. This is one example I'm going to tell you that, which is very, very interesting one. 3 students came up to us in 2010 when we started our incubator, and 3 students from our own university started a company called Robotics Private Limited with a simple idea. And that's what I always say, authentic incubation. With the ministry support, the Department of Science and Technology and MSME, they could get some money to experiment. And today the company is close to more than $500 million company. And we also got the exit. We got a very good, values out of it. This is a company to watch out, getting bigger and bigger. 400 plus employees at the moment. So startups are not only in India now; they're reaching out to other places. We have startups getting into Ireland, Israel, Japan, established their companies in Germany, Belgium. So I can tell you that we are becoming global now. And sitting in eastern part of India, we're also driving the incubation ecosystem of country, contributing there. So I'll be happy that if Russian startups, we have one company, the faculty still going on, faculty turned entrepreneur. And so they are now collaborating, got funded through India and Russia, the institution called National Research University of Electronics Technology at Moscow. And they are developing a product called Development of Disease Diagnostics Platform based on plasmonic biosensors and nanoparticle tracking analysis. So this is still going on. It's a company, a faculty who formed a company. So you could see that in future with this partnership can be much stronger. And we are happy to welcome any of the startups from Russia. They are looking at eastern part of India or even India as a market. We could be the gateway. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Swar.
You can call me Jay.
Okay. Thank you very much for an interesting and very short and fast presentation. May I now request you to kindly stop sharing?
Yeah.
And also, I request Mr. Putreja and the other panel speakers to have a quick round of question and answers. And if there are any questions on the chat box, it is kindly requested to say a few. And after that, we'll have a quick closing remarks.
I don't see any questions on the chat box, but let me, as I know all the Indian panelists, I know Mrityunjay very well. I've been to his KIT. I know Poini Bhatt, and I think some of the comments they have made are extremely pertinent for our guests from Russia. There is a lot we can do together. So I know the capability of KIT and the BioNest and the capabilities some of their startups have. So if one startup in the area of robotic has become a $500 million company, I think we could look at starting with a couple of startups from Russia in the same field and look at partnerships. I think, Dr. Shishir, maybe you should ask your guests from Russia to ask questions, and maybe we can try and respond specific questions.
Yeah, Shamakot, some questions.
Yes, please. I have one simple question regarding this platform, this single window facilitation option that you presented today. What kind of services and what kind of participants you are expecting from Russia just right after this meeting there? Whether we are talking only on facilitators or straight to startups?
I think it's both. Unless we look at co-creation, collaboration, partnerships between technology business incubators, between accelerators of India and counterparts from Russia. So, for example, NTI with SINE. So, Poini Bhatt talked about NTI with venture center in Pune or NTI with KIT, unless we look at partnership, so we have to look at both, at the incubator facilitation partnership and at the startup partnership. And a very important question that was raised is, how do we even look at financing? And I understand your organization has ability to look at a few, some of the innovative, disruptive innovators for financing from your $750 million business startup funding you have.
Yes, from our side, I want to mention that we support each of those levels that you've mentioned, from the startup to the startup communities, to the science, and to the investors that are working in VC field. But nevertheless, for nowadays, we are not able to finance straight any kind of startup from RVC as far as we are a state fund of funds. And at this field, we are still looking for the partnerships with the Indian LPs, with the Indian investors who are ready to co-invest with us to create those funds that will be able to support startups. That's the point regarding the investor field. And if we go back to incubator partnerships, we will be glad to support and share information about our National Technology Initiative Centers with your incubators. As we see at this webinar, there is a specific interest from several of them just mentioned at this webinar. We're glad to see those practical results of such events, and we'll be glad to facilitate with this platform presented by you and Dr. Shishir. Thank you.
One of my suggestions, which is little tangential, is to look at corporate fund partnership. If you consider some specific challenges to be addressed because of COVID, we have been looking at challenges on the vaccine. Earlier, it was on ventilators, but now going forward, we have to look at challenges which can be jointly addressed by the Russian startup and Indian startups, and we can pick 2 or 3 big challenges. Then funding would not be a problem from corporates, and I can also connect you to the VCs as I'm involved, and LPs, obviously with a limited partnership. So we can look at, but it has to be addressing a big challenge, whether it is in the area of food security, whether it's in the area of using IoT for applications. It's already been covered in education, virtual reality, augmented reality. But I think we can look at areas where some of your disruptive startups are happy to partner, and there are enough Indian partners available. And let me allow others to speak from Indian side.
May I make an observation here? We have many groups, and these have capital. I can share with you a couple of the names like IVCAP, which look at individual startups, enterprise to be funded at different levels. So we can present some of your startups to them and see what how does it fit into their investment philosophy. And there are plenty of options available for funding from VCs, and of course they evaluate on their own parameters.
And if we also look at social impact, then we are looking at more than 2 billion consumers or customers to be addressed in the Southern Hemisphere. Then we can look at social impact funds, which are available. Development impact bonds are available other than philanthropic money. So it's not difficult for us to look at some big problem to be addressed, whether it is problem related to health, which is on non-communicable diseases, problem related to early diagnosis of diseases. Instead of just focusing only on COVID, I think we have to go much beyond COVID now.
I have a feeling that we should also collaborate with groups like TIE, the Indus Entrepreneur, which is probably the largest network of entrepreneurs. And almost all of us connect with TIE. The TIE originated in Silicon Valley at some point of time, especially started by the entrepreneurs of Indian origin. And it's become absolutely synonymous with entrepreneurship movement, because whether you name people like Vinod Khosla or Arjun Malhotra or anybody else who's been a successful entrepreneur from Indian origin is a part of TIE and contributes to TIE. And TIE is absolutely technology agnostic, I think country agnostic organization. It has chapters all over the place. Besides, we have VCs. So, there are many options.
So the programs run by in both India and Russia, the grand challenges in Russia and the challenges in India are almost similar, and the effort is also unidirectional, and we can synergize this effort as Dr. Yogesh and Dr. Mutreja are mentioning, and create synergies within the Russian and Indian ecosystem for startups. So, any other question, Mr. Shamakov?
From me, no, but it's a great idea to try to collaborate on mutual engineering contests and competitions for startups on some specific challenges that have a social value and impact. We do have a list of companies working in a variety of fields in connection with this pandemic and COVID. But you are right that it's not a limitation nowadays, and we need to go broader to find out some common problems and maybe some unsolved problems that can be solved by our startups. But we would be pleased, to study more about how you see the process of starting, financing, and creating such programs on international level. Because till now we have similar competitions for Russian startups, and I would be glad to have a separated conversation on this topic and to present our idea how it can work. I think it's also one of the points that we should go with after this meeting.
Perfect. Good idea. Yeah. And I think we should start with just one or two big challenges and try and build some success story for one or two cases, and then accelerate after 6 months.
Right. So with this, I think we come to a close of this wonderful webinar and expert sessions. We have with us Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Vashne, who's currently the advisor and head International Division of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and he's responsible for facilitating bilateral, multilateral, and regional scientific cooperation of India with partner countries like Russia. He has worked. He's also worked as counselor science and technology at the Embassy of India, Moscow, from April 2008 to June 2011. And he's also the co-chair of Joint Working Group on Science and Technology and Innovation between India and Russia. May I request Vashne sir to say a few words as a closing remarks? I think we have just lost him. Dr. Anita Gupta is there, madam. Can you say a few closing remarks?
I think let Dr. Vashne do the honors. I raise the curtain, let him close the curtains, but let the gateways be opened from both the sides. So I think just wait, because I had just talked to him a couple of minutes back. So is there any technical issue, or is Naveen around? Can he really? He is logged in. Dr. Vashne is already logged in, but muted. I think I could hear the kind of deliberations which have really gone in and the subsequent suggestions by Mr. Mutreja, who has long been associated with facilitating cross-border kind of helping and supporting cross-border businesses to find space in respective different geographies. And also of late, he has been with the mentor startups across India. So is the case of Mr. Yogesh Arnle. So they have a complete exposure on the way Indian startup landscape has really evolved and is now really flourishing day by day as we speak. And so is the case of the incubators from both these sides. I think our Indian incubators also present a very crisp and very precise kind of the way the areas they highlighted their success, where the strength lies. I think going forward, collectively, we only need to really figure out the carefully structured areas, because certain areas are definitely need of the hour as to consolidate our position as far as the science, technology, innovation goes, and that through the route of startups, be it the part of the being the global supply chain, or co-creating new set of products to solve problems which both the countries are facing and which may find place in other developing countries or other countries as well. So I'm really very thrilled to see the way deliberations have gone in for the for today's session. I think there are certain takeaways which can be taken forward and certain programs which are impact making, trackable, as well as which bring value to our startup fraternity, and with the connects of incubator to incubators who could facilitate the you can say soft landing or enabling the startups to find routes in the respective marketplaces. I think that is the need of the hour. And I think with this, what we started off in 17 now and the MOU which has been signed, today's deliberation should really culminate into some fruitful partnerships going forward. I think Dr. Vashne has already joined in. Let him do the honors of finally not closing but starting the beginning of the partnership. So thank you.
Thank you, Anita. I think that is more important. We are not closing our discussions today. In fact, we are developing links to continue and carry over our discussions. So, in fact, our partnership with Russia is multifaceted. And even in startup and entrepreneurs, we are having program with FASI and also with program with Ministry of Economic Development. So we have created another platform which is called India-Russia Joint Technology Assessment and Accelerated Commercialization Program, which is bilateral and focusing on strengthening the relationship based on science, technology, and innovation. Program aims to create ecosystem where innovative Indian and Russian S&T-led SMEs, startup can collaborate for joint research. So now we have got two kinds of system where we are promoting industry-led research and startups to work together. And we would like on both these things if we could initiate a lot of partnership development activities. So from Indian side, both the programs are being serviced by FICCI, and they have agreed to my request to provide a platform for matchmaking. So it would be a virtual platform, and where matchmaking could be done, and startups, industries, SMEs, they can put in their interest for exploring for a possible partner from each other's country. And I hope very soon we come out of COVID situation and there would be a world without travel restrictions. In that case, we can go organize these meetings in person. These meetings, I mean, partnership development activities. We could even exchange our startup and entrepreneurs to explore possibility of co-investment in each other's countries and even led those kind of productions. So on the other hand, our industry-led research programs are also open. And if you would like to participate in that program, we shall appreciate your thing. And our Dr. Shishir Rotia is our nodal point in Moscow. So for any question, clarification, you can come to him. And if he is not having answer to any of your query, he can organize answer in a reasonable time. So he knows all the Indian contracts. He knows all the Russian contracts. So for Indians, it is easy that if they are not very confident who could be the Russian person to whom they should approach, they can approach him and he will try to connect you with the potential collaborator, potential partner, potential agency which may be interested in your program. And similarly for the Russian friends, he can connect you with the Indian agency, Indian startups and those things. So we have very high hopes and very soon we are going to have the official meeting where two governments will discuss further how to take forward this partnership, India-Russia partnership in all dimensions, science, technology, innovation, ecosystem included. And this deliberation of today would definitely be of help in taking us, guiding us further inroads and mechanisms to take this relationship forward. I would also welcome your suggestions. If you feel that our present programs are not covering all aspects what you would like the program to have, please feel free to give suggestions. Two governments could always discuss and make program more and more user friendly. With these words, I look forward for much more interactions in time to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your closing remarks. May I request everyone to just switch on their camera to take a final picture and then close the session. So thank you all. Thank you very much for this final picture. And we close the session. Thank you to all the participants from the Russian and Indian side. And thank you for all the esteemed panelists and the esteemed officials to have joined this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And very good moderation done, Dr. Shishir. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Namaskar.
Yeah.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Shishir, and thank you entire FICCI team for having come out with a wonderful program of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.